I'm Esther. You're watching the Skill of the Month Club. It is February. We are doing old-fashioned cooking, and today we are going to get into the wonderful world of baking sweets. Today we're not hanging out in my own kitchen, although I think those who follow me know that I do bake sweets, and also my husband bakes sweets. Between the two of us, we have a lot of sweets. But today we're going to do what we love to do here at the Skill of the Month Club, which is to exchange information with others. So today we're going to be learning from my friend Lajuana Bassett, who has an oatmeal cookie recipe that she's entered in various contests and has won a blue ribbon or best of show every time. So today we are going to learn from Lajuana Bassett how to make blue ribbon oatmeal raisin cookies. Let's get started.
We're going to chop up 1 cup of raisins as fine as we possibly can. Have you ever had a recipe where like your mother-in-law's potato salad recipe? It's the best recipe in the world, best potato salad. You try to make her potato salad, you use the same ingredients, but it just doesn't taste the same. Well, this is kind of learning little tricks that enhance a basic recipe. And this recipe, I've entered into several different cooking competitions and have won either first place or best of show with it. And it's not because it's a miracle oatmeal cookie recipe. It's a very basic oatmeal cookie recipe, but it's just the little things you do different to make a really moist, good raisin oatmeal cookie is to chop the raisins really fine. And I find even my grandkids who don't like raisins and even adult people who don't like raisins enjoy these cookies. What we're going to do is just chop it up. Very good. Yeah, good job. In baking, for cakes and cookies is really simple, but always use room temperature eggs and always use the largest eggs you have. If you have extra jumbo eggs, use those. So where we raise our own chickens, some are small, some are medium, I'll pick out the largest ones that I have and I'll use those. But it seems as in any baking, as far as cakes and cookies, the larger the eggs, the better the product. Just one thing about recipes that I think is really, really important is recipes in your own handwriting. When my mother passed away, the one thing that we had very little of was her own handwriting. And so even though I keep my recipes on the computer, I think it's really important to put your recipes down on ink for your kids. So just my 2 cents. Let's do our butter and sugar first. You dump in the butter. Is it soft? Let's see. My fingers are really, really clean. Yeah, it's soft. Okay, dump that in. You can use the spoon if you need to. Good job. Good job.
Wow. That's a lot of butter.
Yeah, that is 1 cup of butter and it's soft. And now we need a cup of brown sugar. And when you're using brown sugar, we always pack it nice and firm.
You don't lean on your mom doing that, sweetie.
Let's see. And when you're using a recipe for the first time, go by the ingredients. Sometimes we're tempted to think, oh, I'm going to add I like a little more cinnamon in mine, so I'm going to add a ½ teaspoon more. But when you first try a recipe, try the original recipe and then go by. Our parents who can cook with no recipes, no measurements, is because they've done it for so many years, or their moms have taught them, and it comes second nature to them. But when you're first learning how to bake, it's a really good idea just to stick to the basic recipe and then improve upon it after that. And I always tell people when I'm teaching cooking classes, always level. Make sure, we're so tempted just to scoop, shake it. It might have a little mound on it, but 2 tablespoons of flour might make a big difference in a tough cookie or a really moist cookie. So, okay, 1 cup of brown sugar, and then a half a cup of white sugar. That's okay. We have our sugar and our butter all creamed together. Now we're going to use the largest eggs that we have in our kitchen, and we're going to add those one at a time. If you're really wise, you probably should crack it in a separate bowl and dump it in, and that way you won't get any eggshells. And again, just room temperature eggs and the largest eggs that you have. And if you're worried about your egg freshness, you can just smell them, and if they smell fresh, they are fresh. So if it's not fresh, you'll notice. And stir till well blended.
Or you can use a mixer.
Okay. So in our little sifter, I have the flour, cinnamon, salt, and baking soda, and I'm going to sift it. And the reason I like to sift is I look at it as like a down pillow. You could pack it really tight, or if you just fluff it up a little bit, it fluffs the flour and makes your batter a little bit lighter. So
show us how this works.
I just mix my dry ingredients are in there, and sometimes baking soda and some other herbs and spices will get clumpy, and that way, if there's any clumps like this here, you don't bite into a clump of baking soda or something. So anyway, so it's nice and fluffy, and we're going to go ahead and add that to our creamy butter mixture. Now sometimes I'm just like every mom in the world, in a big hurry, and just hurry and throw things together and don't measure as good as I should, and that's okay. Sometimes that's okay to do that. Okay, now it's nice and creamy, and I'm going to add my chopped, look at these wonderfully chopped raisins. And 3 cups of oatmeal. And then I'm going to just mix it till it's well incorporated. And then we're going to scoop them out. And I like to use just a little, this is a melon baller, and I like to use this. So the cookies all are uniform. Now when you're baking, it's important not to overmix. Flour will get tough really fast. The gluten starts working. So as soon as it's mixed well, then you just stop. And this is perfectly fine and ready to go. Put them on an ungreased cookie sheet, And we'll place them in the oven at 375 for 8 to 10 minutes.
Raisin.
And then I flop them down. Okay, we have our oatmeal cookies out of the oven and they've been cooling on the rack. So now all we've done is make a glaze out of about 2 cups of powdered sugar, a teaspoon of vanilla, and 2 teaspoons of cinnamon. And just a few drops of water to make a simple glaze. And we're just going to swirl the glaze on top of each cookie. And the cinnamon glaze is really, really good with the oatmeal and raisin flavor. Okay.
Delicious.
And that's our oatmeal cookie. Would you like to pass it out?
I just love milk and cake and these.